the past few years, Australians have witnessed a huge resurgence of interest in May Gibbs and her charming gumnut creations. In fact, the childhood favourites are nearly as popular today as they were when May Gibbs was at the height of her career in the early 1900s. One woman who's largely been responsible for this is Cairns resident Maureen Walsh. It was Maureen who devoted years of her life to compiling the first biography on May, and who only last year produced and directed this 10-minute film promoting the works of one of Australia's best-loved storytellers.
My parents were wonderful. They were so happy together, and they were awfully good to us children. I could draw almost as soon as I could talk. So my father started me right off because he was a clever artist.
Everybody had forgotten about May. There didn't even exist a list of her published works. The A&R, who had her publisher, didn't even have a list of when I first started off. But anyway, it exists now, and there's shirts out, and there's going to be a ballet in March, and May just goes from strength to strength.
Maureen, who has extensive experience in film and television, first stumbled across the idea to make the film while researching a series on famous Australian women. Maureen claims May's life story, coupled with the huge amount of interest she created in the early 1900s, were the perfect ingredients for a successful screenplay. However, crippled by a lack of funds, she was forced to shelve the project and concentrate on writing May's biography instead. After 11 years of research and countless rough drafts, the hardback copy finally hit the shelves in 1985, selling a mammoth 42,000 copies in 4 months. With the royalties from these sales, she then had enough money to make the film, which she based on her own edited version of a Hazel de Burgh interview with May Gibbs conducted in 1968, a year before May's death.
I took the interview and cut it down and rearranged the sentences and things like that, and it's just May's voice. People said, oh, why didn't you get an announcer to say, and this is May Gibbs? Absolutely no. She tells the story better than anyone. She just sounds so alive and vital and like she'd step off the screen.
After watching the film, it's easy to see Maureen has a great deal of respect for May Gibbs and the talent which led to the creation of such childhood favourites as Snugglepot and Cuddlepie and Bib and Bub. Why else would she invest $42,000 of her own money into the project, which as yet has failed to turn her into a Hollywood millionaire overnight? What it has done, though, is reap her other rewards, which, according to Maureen, have proved just as gratifying.
Sent the film off to the New York Film Festival last year. Didn't send up any backup publicity or anything because it just sort of snuck out itself. And on the first week in November last year, I had a phone call from someone I know at 2UE, and they said, you've won an award in New York. And I said, fabulous. They said, are you going over to collect the award? I said, no way, all my money's gone into the film.
When Maureen decided to make the film, she was determined it would be of top quality and capable of finding a home among the archives. Somehow she felt only this type of film would be a fitting tribute to May Gibbs and her work. Now the question remains, though, is this going to be the last of her works on the much-loved storyteller and artist? For a lady who confesses to having semi-retired in Cairns, it seems she might make one last-ditch effort to further immortalise May Gibbs on film.